Yes, dear listeners, you may be a student or you may be someone just interested in our lessons. Don't forget to subscribe such that you are able to follow whatever we load. Because the moment you subscribe, you'll be able to get the notification that a new video has been loaded about a particular concept. Okay, don't forget to subscribe. Any question, always our numbers are down there. You'll be able to notify us for anything or for any inquiry. At this particular moment, last time we looked at manufacture of soap. We said that detergents are categorized into two. That is, we have soap detergents and also soapless what? Detergents. So last time we looked at manufacture of soap. Today, we want to look at manufacture of soapless what? Detergents, because all of these ones serve the same function. They all enhance the process of what? Of cleaning. But at the end of it all, one of them cleans better than the what? Than the other. So for that matter, therefore, allow us look at other what? At other things. In this case, let us look at manufacture of soapless what? Detergents. Yes, as we are saying that we want to look at manufacture of soapless detergents, maybe let us first come up with the heading. We write here the heading that we are interested in to show that it is the point of interest. Manufacture of So we are looking at manufacture of soapless detergent. As usual, we said under industrial processes, first of all, if you are looking for something, you need what we call raw materials. Which raw materials are you going to use? So let us first talk about the raw material that we're interested in. What are the raw materials that we're interested in when it comes to manufacture of a soapless what? Detergent? We shall need what we are calling an alcohol. When we are manufacturing soapless detergents, like in manufacturing of soap detergents, first of all, the vegetable oils that we talk about, we normally talk about chemically, they contain carboxylic acids with what? With a longo chain, or with an alcohol group with many carbon what? Atoms. So even here we shall talk about an alcohol. Particularly, let us first consider an alcohol as we go into other things. For example, we can talk about alkyl what? Alkyl benzene. But for today, let us first stay based on an alcohol, and we see how can we use what? An alcohol. This alcohol that we need should be an alcohol with what? A longo chain, or with an alkyl group having many carbon what? Carbon atoms, probably greater than what? Greater than 10. We shall consider an alcohol with 12 carbon atoms, the one that we shall put into consideration, and we see how can we use that alcohol with 12 carbon atoms. Okay, which name do we give that alcohol? We shall call it decan 1 all. That's our alcohol with the 12 carbon atoms. So we have decan 1 all. So how are we going to use that decan 1 all? In others, after knowing that this is one of the substances that we need, which other substances that are following? Number 2, we shall need concentrated sulfuric acid. That is our second raw materials. Then number 3, we shall need sodium hydroxide solution. We shall base on those 3. We are talking about the decan 1 all. We are talking about concentrated sulfuric acid, and we are also talking about sodium hydroxide solution. Now the point is, How are we going to mix those ones such that we come up with the desired product? In this case, it is the soapless detergent. That's the question to each and every one. Now, first of all, we say that for us to know how to mix them, we shall do that one under the process of what? Process of production. But before, you have to know that what you are using, where are you going to mix them from? The one we are calling a vessel. Which particular vessel are you going to put into what? Into consideration. Number three, and the next part. How are you going? Which one is going to come before the other? So that's also a question that is supposed to be asked before you start talking about the processes. Okay, let us go to the process of production and we see what we shall do. Process of production. What are we going to do when it comes to this point? The first point will be all about mixing. We shall begin with the decan 1 all and the mixture that we shall first react will be between decan 1 all and the concentrated sulfuric what? Acid. Those are the first two things that we shall have to put into consideration first before we proceed. Now, we shall allow the decan 1 all as an alcohol. Each and every one knows how alcohols react. That alcohols react with concentrated sulfuric acid at different what? At different temperatures. For example, when it reacts at 170 degrees Celsius to 180 degrees Celsius, within that range, you form an alkene in that case. When it reacts at 140, you form a corresponding what? A corresponding ether. Then when it reacts at 0 degrees Celsius, it forms an alkyl hydrogen sulfate. Now, in this case, since we know what we call a detergent has that group at the end, the sodium sulfate group at the end, the one that we are talking about. Now, in this case, what we are talking about, we shall need to first of all introduce the group such that we, at the end of it all, we come up with an alkyl hydrogen sulfate before we can be able to know how to introduce in the sodium, such that we come up with our what? Our detergent. In this case, we shall begin with reacting with the can 1 all. We shall react it with concentrated sulfuric acid. At what temperatures will these ones react? They react at 0 degrees what? Celsius. So when they react, what are we going to form? In this case, we are assuming that this is the decan 1 all, whereby the R is an alkyl group. How many carbon atoms are we remaining with here to reach what? To reach 12, we are remaining with 11 carbon what? Atoms. So we are assuming that this is an alkyl group with 11 carbon atoms. Then plus this one, we go to 12, such that the hydroxyl group is already there. So in this case, we shall have the decan 1 what? 1 all. Now when this one reacts with this one reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid. We are saying that it will react at 0 degrees what? So we shall say that we will get an alkyl group. Here it is this one, CF2. We get an alkyl hydrogen what? An alkyl hydrogen sulfate. So in case we have the decan 1 or the decan 1 or which alkyl group shall we form this way? We shall form your decyl. So we shall form your decyl hydrogen sulfate. We shall come up with the decyl hydrogen sulfate. Now, after forming the diacetyl hydrogen sulfate, this one undergoes a reaction with the sodium what? Hydroxide. That's when we bring sodium hydroxide what? Solution. After the two have reacted, we bring sodium hydroxide solution and we do what? We add there after forming this one. So, in case we have formed this, now we react with sodium what? Hydroxide solution such that you are able to form sodium alkyl CH2 and the water at the end. Now that's the one we are obtaining. We are forming this compound, the one we are calling our what? Our soapless what? Detergent in that case. Now we are going to explain what we have done here. What have we done? Look at the point of interest. We are saying that when you look at this one, we are saying the one all is reacted with concentrated sulfuric acid at 0 degrees what? Celsius. Or in case you don't want to use that statement, you can say the one or is reacted with cold. If you don't want to mention the statement of 0 degrees what? Celsius, you can say cold concentrated sulfuric what? Acid, because the mere mentioning the word cold, you have talked about the 0 degrees what? Celsius. So the decan one all is reacted with cold concentrated sulfuric acid to obtain decyl hydrogen sulfate. I repeat, the decan one all is reacted with concentrated sulfuric acid at 0 degrees Celsius to obtain your decyl hydrogen sulfate. Then after, your decyl hydrogen sulfate is then reacted with sodium hydroxide solution to obtain the desired detergent. And that's what we are calling the desired detergent. Then maybe you can proceed with other steps. Like the desired detergent is then add a little amount of water is added there, obtain the detergent, obtain a solution maybe of the detergent in case you want it in solution form. So you can also proceed by adding disinfectants and colors. Disinfectants can be added, colors can be also be added, among others that you'll be interested in this case. So that one becomes the whole process of producing what? Producing the soapless what? Detergent. So we have summarized it, we have explained it. So it is all up to you to use the voice that can be the sound to come up with the explanation, and it. You can outline paragraph form, or you can combine a text and you come up with what you want. So also this one will follow other steps, like what can we talk about? We can talk about the side effects, because it's also a manufacturing process. You can also talk about the social benefits at the end, because you also need them. So we need side effects, we also need social benefits. We need the side effects and we also need the social benefits. What are we going to come up with? Look at the side effects. This process involves the use of what? Now that is a question to ask yourself. When you look at this process, we are using concentrated sulfuric what? Acid, which is not an easy acid. The acid that is not friendly when it comes onto your skin, however much it is cold. So you have to talk about it. We can talk about acid what? Spills, or you can talk about the chemical spill. So it's very easy to specify which one are you talking about as a chemical. So acid spills which can get into contact with the what? With the skin, that leads to burns or corrosion, maybe that can lead to wounds and what? And pain in that case. That one can be a side what? A side effect. But also the product that we are producing. when poorly disposed. Remember, when you are coming with the side effects, at least you have talk about which activity will lead to the effect at the end. So when soapless detergents are poorly what? Or when wastes of soapless detergents are poorly disposed. Remember, when you are producing, you may dispose something somewhere, and you have to consider that one. So when poorly disposed, what happens is they are non-biodegradable. When poorly disposed, they are non-biodegradable, and therefore, what happens? If something is non-biodegradable, so they lead to soil infertility, which leads to low crop what? Yields at the end. That one is the said. What's the mitigation? The other one of acid species, you can be able to mitigate it for use of personal protective what? Equipment. Now, these ones of when poorly disposed, since they are non-biodegradable, they lead to poor, they use to soil infertility, among others. So we are saying that if they are non-biodegradable, then they lead to soil infertility, which leads to low crop what? Use mitigation. You can mitigate that one by proper management routines, proper disposal of those wastes, and so on. That one can be a point. Then also, when poorly disposed, these detergents contain plant nutrients such as phosphates that that when they can dissolve into the water what? Into the water bodies that can lead to algae growth, which will occupy the surface of the water, that will lead to cutting off of oxygen what? Supply into the water, that will lead to loss to death of the aquatic what? Animals that live within the what? In the water. And the same mitigation can take place. We can use the proper management what? Routines. That can be a point to consider. Social benefits, as usual, this is a manufacturing plant. The soapless detergent manufacturing plant can be it is a source of employment what? Opportunity. Then you explain employment opportunity. So what? To workers that provide service to them, that will lead to increase the incomes, hence improving their standards of what? Living. Then we can also talk about source of government is what? Revenue. The soapless detergent manufacturing plant will be a source of government is revenue through the taxes imposed that will provide income to the government, and that will help you, which can help the government in developing infrastructures as usual, hospitals, roads, schools, among others. At this particular moment, allow us end here for today. We are requesting that if you're a new person on this channel, please subscribe for you to be able to get the concepts that we shall always be uploading. A notification will come that indeed it shows you that there is a certain concept that has been uploaded. There is something new. Go and get it. So please subscribe, or else reach our contact 0758 876 sorry, 0758-876-705 or 0762258869. The contacts down. You can use an email, dixokasan07@gmail.com. No problem, you can be able to reach us in this case. This particular moment, allow us end here. Don't miss the next station. It probably will also be another manufacturing process, as we shall see when we come back. I wish you the best.